Here we are. Howdy do. Welcome to another episode, live stream from Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. I'm so glad you're here. Plenty to get through tonight, as always. It's wet and windy here. I wonder what it's like with you. And I hope it's if it's morning, you're having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are watching. So there you are. That's the intro. I always like to say hello and welcome, and if you're joining me live, thank you very, very much. It is much appreciated. I know you all live very busy lives. Chris says, wet and windy here too, Steve. Yes, well, of course, you're in the same sort of part of the world as me, aren't you? So let's kick it off. You saw me sort of raise a glass to you. Thank you very much for anybody that's bought me coffee during the week. I've needed it extra special this week. It's been a hard week this week, so thank you very, very much. You know who you are, and as you know, I do enjoy my coffee. So that's that little bit of business taken care of. It does help, of course. It shows that I'm appreciated. I like to know I'm appreciated and doing the right thing. And also the money also goes into the channel, the upkeep and so forth. I will ask you as well, if you can, just give the thumbs up to this live stream, if you can, please. And also, if you're watching on catch up, do the same. I normally target 300 likes. Well done, you people looking through that camera. Did it for me last week. You did it. It was over 300 likes again. So great. It does help. So what have we got? We've got underrated Elvis songs. We've got a live poll. It's a fun poll this week as well. Well, they're all fun, but this one I thought it was particularly fun. And stick around for that because I think you're going to get a kick out of it. Photoshop of the week. Yeah, okay. Caption this photo, another funny photo. Elvis pulling a funny face and doing a funny dance, of course. Smoking hot photo. We just love smoking hot photo. This day in Elvis history. Big day in Elvis history, actually. So again, stick around for that. The topic is, it's actually a nice one. It's good vibes. It's a happy topic. I know somebody was on the chat earlier on thinking it was another depressing topic. It's not. I know you have to take the rough with the smooth, and I know the last couple of weeks hasn't been that great. It's been sort of a little bit down. Well, this week it's going to be up, and I guarantee you it is going to be up. It's going to be a nice topic if you'll just give me the chance to tell you what it is. Then YouTube channel I recommend. I don't do it every week, but I'm going to do it this week. And you will be surprised actually at this one because it's not exactly a run-of-the-mill normal YouTube channel that I would recommend. I'm straying away from the normal the YouTube channel I recommend. I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to break my own little rule this week. Salam, thank you very, very much. That's very, very kind of you to donate that. For all the fans, for keeping his name alive, thank you, Steve. Right. That's very, very kind. Thank you, Salam. As I say, you can also pay for your own super chat if you wish by clicking on the $ below the comments box. So you will be able to ring me free on WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook Messenger, or just the telephone number if you want to call direct. There's the telephone number there if you want to ring me. If there's anything you want to tell me or talk about during the show, I will tell you when I've opened the lines. Right, so Chris is in the house and Arkansas Dave is in the house as well, helping me moderate because we're going to do the quiz in a second. Thanks for all the kind messages and emails you sent me during the week. It really is great of you to do that. So the quiz, we always start every week with the quiz. And I'm always trying to think of different things to do. And this week, it's publicity photos. Okay, I'm going to show you a publicity photo, and you've got to tell me which movie it is from. Okay, now some of them will be easy, some of them won't be easy. I've tried to pick somewhere. He doesn't actually look like he did around that time, if that makes sense. So, without further ado, I wanted to just say that this is the prize that Jack Mullins got for being the fan of the week. Fan of the month, I mean, for, was it June and July? It was 2 months, so I gave him an extra super duper prize, and it's the How Great Thou Art sessions, and as you can see, it's 5 CDs, and that has been dispatched, Jack, as you probably know, and it'll be winging its way to you in the next day or two. And also, Fan of the Year, a big prize, was this. It was Lou Dane. Lou, it hasn't been dispatched to you yet. There is a delay on that, but you will be getting that Elvis in concert jacket. Fear not, sweetheart, you will be getting that. Okay, there's just been a delay on it. So those are the sort of things that you can win by taking part in this quiz. And Jack says it should arrive tomorrow. Well, that's something to look forward to. It's a nice start to the week, isn't it? Mondays aren't always my favorite day. It isn't my favorite day of the week, actually. It's my least favorite day of the week. So yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice, wouldn't it, to receive that on a Monday morning. Now, as I say, here we go. We've got 6 publicity photos. You've got to tell me which film this is from, and the first person gets the Elvis jingle, of course. We've got I introduced a new jingle last week, and I'm going to keep that for a week or two. And you can send me in your own jingle if you wish. Just it can't really have any music behind it because YouTube kind of get a little bit funny about things like that. So here we go. What is this movie Publicity still from? Now, my trusty pen, a sip of coffee to keep me going. And does anybody know? Dylan says I'm stumped. Yes, Dylan is stumped. Okay. Hi, Mark. Hi, Brian. Follow That Dream says, Jack, I knew the hair might throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. Wild in the Country. No Idea. Did he make a film called No Idea? Okay, believe it or not, that was a shot from the publicity session for Blue Hawaii. So there's Ian Mackay, and he says Blue Hawaii as well. A lot of people said Blue Hawaii. GI Blues, no, I think his hair was a lot shorter in GI Blues, actually, Tracy. So can the mods help me out? Who is going to get the Elvis jingle? Who said Blue Hawaii? It's the outfit that threw me. I was expecting the Hawaiian shirt. Yes, Chris, I think it was Mark Green as well. If you see anything from TMZ about the Elvis family, it's not true, so never click on their stuff. Do you know Elvis Presley, the legend, TCB always? I kind of feel like that with TMZ. I think it's just... well, I won't even say the word what I think it is. There's Streamlabs just reminding you to click the thumbs up. So Mark, well done, Mark. And by the way, Mark, that was a fantastic photograph that you actually posted from your show there the other day. In fact, I liked it. You might have seen me like it, and I actually said great shot as well, I think. But anyway, well done for that. That is Blue Hawaii.
Are they coming to get me? Is that it?
So you get the Elvis jingle. Now, I'm expecting a flood of the right answers with this next one. Which film or movie is this publicity photograph from? Now, is the jacket going to give it away? Is the hairstyle going to give it away? That's what I want to know. Now, let's have a look. Chris says she loves the jingle. Yeah. Okay, so we have LAL, which is live a little, love a little. Yeah. And my goodness, did he look good in that movie. Oh, yeah. I love the opening scene where he's ripping and tearing around on the dune buggy on the beach. And what about It's a Wonderful World? Yes. Fantastic vocal on that. So, Dave and Chris, you've got to pick the bones out of that because there's so many that's saying live a little, love a little. Yeah, Tracy, you could nearly say that was a smoking hot photo, but that's not the smoking hot photo. There's an even better one than that later on. Well, they're all smoking hot, aren't they? Ian says, I appear to have a 30-second delay. I hope not. I hope not, because I haven't actually put a delay on the... let me just have a look, but I don't think I have. No, there doesn't seem to be a 30-second delay on my end. No. I know you can put a 30-second and a 60-second delay and a 120-second delay on it if you wish, but I don't like to do that because you all behave yourselves anyway. It gives me a chance to take anything off that I see before it's posted, but no. So... Dylan, it was Dylan, and it wasn't even a jumpsuit question, Dylan. Yeah. And Jack is nowhere to be seen at the moment. Jack, where are you? Obviously, Jack isn't very strong on publicity photos. Maybe I don't know. Sometimes that just happens, doesn't it? Some week, people just get in before you. But hey, it's all good fun. It really is all good fun. It must be Virgin Media, my service provider. Could well be. He's at the pub. No, I don't think so. Right, number 3. Yeah, now I remember when I was actually going through these publicity photographs for this movie, I thought, that could actually throw some people. And here it is. Publicity photo number 3. Now, look at that hairstyle and tell me. Well, that fooled somebody all for about 2 seconds. Aha, Banjo Paul thinks it's Speedway. Salam thinks it's Harem Scarum. Jack, spin out. You see? Speedway, roustabout. Wow, no. No, his hair was a lot shorter in roustabout. So, yeah, it looks like because he said clambake and he said clambake first, Dylan Bowen has got 2 in a row. It certainly was clambake, yeah. But there's definitely a lot of photographs where he's taken I don't know whether some of these photographs were taken on a different day or not, whether there's double trouble, Mike Emma said. No, it's not. It is clambake. But I don't know whether some of the clambake photographs were taken on a different day because the hair was definitely different on some of them. And Debbie H says dark tan. Yeah, it's a very oversaturated photograph, isn't it? His skin color looks almost red, according to Dave. Yeah, I mean, I could have fiddled around with it and taken some of the saturation away, but I just wanted to post it as it came in to me. And yeah, Tracy says it looks like spray tan. I think it's just a very I think it's just a very oversaturated photograph, and the background hasn't helped either. It sort of almost fooled the camera into underexposing it, so it makes his skin look a lot darker than what it is. Not a pale face like me. Actually, my camera shot tonight is very, very pale, isn't it? I must try and alter that for next week. I'm not really that pale in real life. Right. Lily says I'm way behind, like 2 minutes. Wow, that's very strange how people are saying that they're behind because I haven't altered anything. Dylan says, "Oh, I'm as pale as hell." Right. So here we go. So Dylan,
Are they coming to get me? Is that it?
Dylan, you could be on track for being fan of the month, and it's a CD. I think I'm going to be giving this way, Lost in Hollywood or something like that. It's one of those anyway. But anyway, we'll see. Now, if a lot of people don't get this one, I will be very, very surprised. Priscilla says your background isn't helping either, Steve. Maybe it is the background. Yeah, I don't know. Right. So that was Clambake, and what film is this from? Now, look at that, people. Look at that. That's a dead giveaway. Ah, coffee. Right, it says if you have to do a refresh, it can delay a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, somebody said Frankie and Johnny. Helen says Harem Scarum. Mike says Frankie Wund Johnny. A lot of people saying Frankie and Johnny. Dave is telling me that Helen Murray was the first to say Harem Scarum, and that's what it is. It is Harem Scarum, but without the turban, without the headdress. Stay away, Joe. Goodness me. I don't think he wore anything like that in Stay Away, Joe. So, right, here we go. Again, thanks to everybody that's, giving me an answer. And I appreciate everybody that actually takes part in these quizzes. And Helen gets the siren.
Are they coming to get me? Is that it?
Okay. Way, hey, Helen. Okay. Right. Here we go. Nobody wears anything like Elvis. Wasn't it Harem Holiday in the UK? It was, Tracy. It was Harem Holiday. Correct. There was a few posts on Facebook this week. You know where Elvis visits the karate studio in Los Angeles? I think it's the first time he met Dave Hebler, I think, in September 1972. And he's wearing the turban. And I actually commented that, anybody else would look silly, but even Elvis looked cool in that turban. So did Elvis ever wear anything bad? Was there anything that we said, oh, Elvis, what are you doing wearing that? Please, if you do know of something where you said, Elvis, you shouldn't have worn that, send me the picture in and I'll feature it next week or the week after or something like that. Something that Elvis shouldn't have worn. Okay? He looked bizarre walking around with that on. Okay, says Tracy. Which reminds me, I'm asking you to send in something like that. Oh, Elvis, you shouldn't have worn that, right? I'm also going to ask people, if they want to send me a picture to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. And basically what it is it's your favorite Elvis outfit. Okay? If there's a particular outfit that you absolutely adored Elvis in, send it in to me and I can feature it. Okay? And also, if you remember, Ian Mackay said this on a phone call a couple of weeks ago. You could actually have Fan of the Week where they ring in or I ring them or whatever. They can ring in during the show. We can have it on the show, or I can pre-record it and play it on the show, where I ask them certain questions about when they first heard Elvis, how long have they been a fan, what's their favorite song, that. And if you want to be Fan of the Week, let me know. Again, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. That'd be a bit of fun. Don't be shy. I mean, if you don't want to do it live, we can pre-record it and then I can edit out any ums and ahs that I make, because I do make a lot of ums and ahs. And we'll feature a Fan of the Week. Isn't that a great idea? Ian Mackay. Thanks, Ian. Right, here we go. Number 5. What movie is this from? This Publicity still. I think this is going to fool a few people as well. The ivory lace-up top on the airplane. Yeah, that's a good one. Girls, girls, girls. Speedway, roustabout. Girl happy. I knew this one would throw people because he has a similar haircut to a lot of other movies. But Gracie just says, oh, hot, hot, hot. She doesn't care what movie it's from. Right, okay. Well, the movie that Publicity photo is from is Kissing Cousins. And I believe, finally, Jack is in the building. Yes, Jack. Norset says, easy come, easy go. Loving the chest hair. Okay. Yeah, the black shirt is making me think it's girls, girls, girls. Yes. was his hair not a lot shorter in Girls, Girls, Girls? You know, some people actually date photographs just by Elvis's hair. You can tell, you can tell when he just came out of the army. When he was in his father's office doing the interview, you can tell just by looking at his hair, the color and the length of it, that it's March 1960. So anyway, I digress. It was Jack. Jack, you get the siren.
Are they coming to get me? Is that it?
Jack is finally in the building. So far we have Mark, Dylan 2, Helen 1, Jack 1. Okay, here we go. This is another one which I think might trip you up. Here we go. Because he did look similar in these publicity photographs and another movie publicity photograph, and it's this one. Now, check the hair, folks. What am I kidding about? I don't know what I'm kidding about. Kathleen, you're kidding, Steve. What am I kidding about? Oh, King Creole. Now, somebody said follow that dream. A lot of follow that dreams. World in the country. Okay. FTD. Kathleen is calling Vincenzo Sweetie Pie. Vincenzo, Sweetie Pie. I love it. Okay. The movie that is from, or the movie still that is from, is Kid Galahad. Yes, Kid Galahad. Flaming Star, no, Carolina, it's not. Yeah, couldn't decide between Follow That Dream and Kid Galahad. Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah, that's the two that I was thinking. It was similar look about him. So we have. Was it Dylan? Was it? Yes, it was. Thanks, Dave, and thanks, Chris. So Dylan, you get the siren.
Are they coming to get me? Is that it?
Dylan, that is a hat trick for you. Well done. And I thought you were only good at the jumpsuits. So there you are. That just goes to show me, doesn't it? Yes. Now, I think, do you know what I'll do? I'll do the poll because I want to do the poll and I want to do the topic, and then I will open up the phone lines if you wish. Jack says dominating Dylan. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes. Can I just remind you, please, if you can, to give a thumbs up to this video if you're watching on playback or you're watching live, because it is important. Every like is a like for Elvis. It's not for me. And well done. You did it last week where you did more than 300 likes. So the poll, and it is this. Okay? I was sitting there Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon-ish, thinking, now the poll, what can I do? Let's think of something a little bit upbeat and a little bit just harmless, and let's keep things a little bit fun, because I know we were struggling with some of the LPs, you see, because people were saying, Steve, how can you choose between those 2 LPs or those 4 LPs? So I thought, what about Elvis hats? So do you like the cowboy hat, the motorcycle hat? I'm calling it the motorcycle hat because he wore those a lot when he was motorcycling. So the motorcycle peaky hat, the fedora, which he seemed to wear a lot in the mid to end part of 1960, or the flat cap. I'm not even sure whether that flat cap picture is actually photoshopped or not, actually. Maybe somebody can tell me. Probably not. Gilbert says, you've got to be kidding, Steve. Yes. So I'll put it up in a minute, but just remember, I'll show the picture again before we close anyway. But cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat cap. Okay? So here we go. There it is. It should be up on the screen for you now. Cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat. I hope you like that, folks. I really do. Yeah. Now, earlier on, somebody actually said, oh no, this is going to be a depressing topic again, because they saw that it was about Dolan, the Dolan house again. But far from it, because some Elvis friends of mine, and I'll tell you who they are at the end because I want to give them credit for these photographs, visited Dolan many times, but they took photographs in 1995 and a fan gathering in 2000. And they also took photographs of Audubon Drive as well in 2000. I want to show those as a bonus, but I really just wanted, because the last couple of weeks we were saying about how Dolan was in such bad condition and there was animals in there and the roof was leaking and all like that. And I wanted to just to balance it up by saying, well, it wasn't always like that. And this is some of the photographs from Dolan in 1995. There's the outside, and that looks perfectly okay. Alrighty. And then we also have the back and the pool area. And again, it just looks absolutely fine. So those were happier times. Another shot there from the other angle of the front. I'll take you inside in a second, because I thought it was important to show the inside as well, what it was like in 1995. There's the kitchen area. Beautiful kitchen area. Obviously, the whirlpool or the jacuzzi in Verna's bathroom, lounge area, lovely L-shaped couch, sunroom, again with the patio doors leading out to the back, lounge, stairway going upstairs, of course. So a lovely, beautiful house. A bedroom, Elvis painting on the wall. Another bedroom. Double trouble painting on the wall. That is a broken mirror tile where Elvis did, somebody says that he did a karate chop or a karate kick and broke the tile. I'm not sure how true that is. Could well be. Could well be. And there's the back pasture, and as you can see, leading to Graceland. There's the gate that he could open. Okay. So that's Dolan in 1995. Then we also have 2009. Okay. A fan gathering. Again, beautiful condition. 2009. Not that long ago when you think about it. 2009 isn't that long ago. There's Joan Gansky with the pink hat on. You might have seen Joan in the there's Sonny. You might have seen Joan in the Reinventing Elvis documentary. There's Mike Freeman, who sadly passed away now. He actually owned Audubon at one time. There's Sonny again, answering questions. So that was in 2009. Okay, and then also the people who I'm going to credit for these photos in a minute also visited Audubon in 2000. It looks like the fall of 2000 actually. You can see a lot of leaves down. I just wanted to show these because they're quite unusual. Some of them are from quite unusual angles. This is just a front shot, of course. Beautiful Audubon Drive. Elvis's first home that he bought for Gladys and Vernon. They only stayed there for a little over they stayed until about March the following year. They bought it in May 1956, moved in March, or bought Graceland in March of 1957. There's a close-up of 1034 on the pillar. Yes, that's an unusual angle. You don't normally, most people take the shot from the front, but that's quite an unusual angle. I wouldn't like to have to clear up all those. Now that is a very unusual angle. That's something that Elvis would have seen a lot when he was coming out of the house, looking down towards Audubon Drive. So that's quite an unusual angle, that one. These are nice shots. Very, very nice shots. Again, you don't normally see photographs taken from the side of the house like that, near the carport. It's normally front on. I think there's one coming up of Mike Freeman that used to own Audubon. There's a lot of leaves down, isn't there? You need some sort of leaf blower or something to suck those up. It was an unusual colour at that time as well. The house was an unusual colour. Yeah, there's Mike with the white shirt on. Closer shot. This is inside. There's a very interesting shot I'm going to show you in a second. This is inside Audubon as well. It's quite different now to when Elvis, Gladys and Vernon lived in there, obviously for obvious reasons. But anybody that's been into Audubon knows that it's such a nice ranch style home, and there's still sort of echoes of Elvis in there, and I will show you one of those echoes in a second. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. There's a bedroom, Elvis's bedroom, I believe. You can still get the kind of the feeling of it, the low ceiling and so forth, because we've seen so many photographs taken when Elvis owned Audubon. Right, here we go. This photograph here of Elvis on the phone, young Billy Smith just there to the right, and then Vernon in the background. And there is the same shot, virtually the same shot today. And you can see the sink there where Vernon was shaving. Elvis would have been standing right in front of where the camera is, and Billy would have been stood just on the right there. So there's a comparison shot of today and then July the 4th, 1956. And all those photographs I have to credit to the lovely Joan and Paul Gansky. And there they are, just outside Circle G Ranch, actually. So thanks to Joan and thanks to Paul. And as I say, you will have seen Joan in the Reinventing Elvis documentary. So thanks, guys. I really do appreciate you sending those photographs. And that sort of just evens up what I was sort of covering the last few weeks when I was saying about how bad the inside of Dolan was. Well, there's the other side of the coin. That's the home that it used to be. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to do Elvis history. Don't forget, we've still got to ask you to vote on the poll. And the poll is, do you like Elvis the cowboy hat, Elvis the motorcycle hat, the fedora, or the flat cap? So I would like as many of you as possible to vote on that, because the more people that vote, the more accurate we get the result. If you're watching on playback, you won't be able to vote and you won't be able to see the result, but I will tell you the result. So just in case you want to know what everybody picked: cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat cap. And I will actually tell you what my choice would have been, if I remember, at the end. What I would have chosen. Now, yeah, I'm going to open the phone lines in case there's anybody that wants to say anything to me, I will drop out the photograph for a second, but I will reintroduce that pole photograph before the end of the show. And we're going to do this day in Elvis history. No, we're not, because somebody's phoned up. Hello.
Hey,
Hey, Dylan.
Yep.
Well
Surprise,
done.
isn't it?
Yeah, well done on the quiz, by the way.
Thank you.
You
know what? I surprised myself there.
Eh?
I really did. I surprised myself there.
Did you? Yeah, because you're the jumpsuit expert, aren't you?
Well, okay, but I've got a bone to pick about that, right?
Go on.
And it's not with you. Please,
Oh.
it's not with you.
Okay.
It's with the website.
Okay.
The jumpsuit index. Elvis. So the names that are on there, Elvis didn't call half of those names to those suits.
Right. No,
Like,
do you know, I think the fans named most of the jumpsuits.
Well, yeah. I mean, they named some of them, but there were some where Elvis specifically. There we go.
It's not easy to
Named.
say, is it, specifically?
No, yeah, that word, that one there.
That word, yeah.
Yeah, there's ones where he named like himself.
Yeah.
So I'm there thinking, okay, the Aqua Blue Vine. I have never heard the Aqua Vine called the Aqua Blue Vine. So I wonder if Elvis did call him that himself.
I don't know.
Because I have never heard that being called.
Yeah, Aqua Blue Vine, yeah. I mean, what I had to do was I had to pick a central place where to get the names from. And so that's what I did. I used the Elvis Jumpsuit Index website.
Well, I mean,
when he first saw the Phoenix one, he thought it was the head of a zebra, didn't he?
Zebra.
Yeah.
Because what happened there was Gene Dissett was designing a jungle suit, and word got back to Gene. They're like, Elvis loves it, but he thinks the bird's got funny feet.
Yeah.
And Gene's like, what? He says Elvis thinks the bird's got funny feet. So I goes, oh, all right, we'll just make it into a bird then.
Yeah. Because actually, if you turn it upside down, it does look like a zebra, doesn't it? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to ask you about the poll. What are you voting?
Cowboy Elvis.
Cowboy. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a shot from Flaming Star as well, I think. Sorry, wrong.
I think so.
There you go.
But
hang on. I think that's Flaming Star, and I think he is actually eating lunch or something at the time.
Yeah, I think, but I was gonna pick the Lennon hat photo, but the cowboy one just edged it very slightly.
Yeah. Is that flat cap a Photoshop? Do you think?
Well, I can't say I've ever seen Elvis in a Lennon hat. So, because those hats I do associate with John Lennon.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So I've never seen Elvis in a Lennon hat, but I mean, stranger things have happened. So
I mean if that flat cap photograph is a Photoshop, it's a good Photoshop because it's been very well done. But maybe he just put it on for a joke. I don't know. There's
loads of like good Photoshops.
Yeah.
But there's others where it's like that is shocking.
Yeah.
Like that is absolutely shocking.
Yeah, shocking. Yeah. What about last week's? Do you remember the one last week, the misidentified one? It's not Madonna, because if Madonna, if Madonna had met Elvis, she would have told everybody by now.
Those ones drive me insane, especially when it's like this is a photo of Elvis on June 25th, 1977, when it's him in like March.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that really drive me insane. Because it's like, if you could just do a little bit more research, it would be great.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
It's fine.
You and me feel exactly the same. Okay, thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye. Bye.
You too. Bye.
So there you have it. Dylan is going for Cowboy Elvis. And again, I'm asking people to vote cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat cap. Flat cap, yeah. Right. Here we go. Hello.
Hello, Steve. It's Mark.
Hey, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you? All right.
Hey, I tell you what, that was a fantastic photograph you posted the other day on your Facebook page.
Yeah, for a few one of the recent shows. Yeah, I had somebody there who took some good shots.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very talented photograph. He caught just the moment. Yeah,
just a moment. Yeah, that's it. You do sometimes, don't you? You do catch that moment. Yeah. Very good, very good.
So,
yeah, I missed your program a few weeks ago. I was you talking about Dolan and Vernon's house. You know.
Yeah.
I went there in 2027 on the 30th anniversary.
All right.
I spent 12 hours in there.
What year was it again?
2007.
2007 on the 10th anniversary, right?
The 30th anniversary.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, the 30th.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Yeah, the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I was there with Andrew Hearn. He used to run Essential Elvis.
I know Andrew. Yeah. And tell us about it. So in 2007, right?
Yeah.
What was it like?
It was nice. It was clean and tidy. We was having a barbecue in the back garden by the pool. The pool was empty, of course. I think the guy had not long bought this property. Maybe 12 months or 2 years before he was opening it up to tours over August time and stuff like that. I'm not sure if the guy is still the same guy who sold it on now. I'm not too sure about that. It was a guy who intended to do it up a bit and was in the process of probably letting people tour around it, but it would only be toured around really on the special, January or August things. So, inside the paintings are amazing. So many great little pictures of Elvis. The paintings are fantastic.
Yeah.
Clean and top. It was really nice. It's great views at the back, of course. It leads onto Gracelands, and the front was nice. The gates were nice. There was no damage on the gates when I went. The front looked real nice. Had a great time in there.
I'm wondering now whether all the paintings and all the furniture and stuff like that has been pulled out, and it's just a shell inside.
But if it's leaking as well, they might get damaged and wet and destroyed a bit now. You don't know, do you? But they're all really great conditions. I'll have to send you some pictures. I have got some pictures of the paintings in the house and some shots.
Yeah, please send them.
They were really good and amazing. And I had a great time. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Nick and Dean in there. I had a great chat with them. Got some pictures with Dr. Nick and he booked his side. I met Marty Lacker.
Now we'd love to see those photographs, Mark. We really would. Yeah,
and I met Susanna Hemmings, who's in the 68 comeback.
Yeah,
she was there as well. I met her and had a good chat to her and had a real good chat to Dean and Dr. Nick. More so I was really interested in Dr. Nick. He was quite nice, He was quite old then, of course, but it was a great day, and it's surrounded by, of course, all the Elvis fans. It was the 30th anniversary, so it was a busy day.
It's a beautiful house. I mean, from Paul and Jones' photographs, it's a beautiful house.
Yeah, it is. It's a great house. The location, is right. And you're talking about the Circle G. Like I went there the same year. It's a shame when I went to the Circle G. Of course, it was a rundown. It was run down a lot there, but obviously beautiful views and walks and over the bridge. Where they always used to have the picnics and in the park But of course, the house had been left to you could walk through. We did walk through a bit, but didn't really walk all the way through because it was a bit unsafe. And stuff. But I hope it can be saved. And
this is why we're so keen to get everybody on board about Circle G's, because it is worth preserving. Definitely worth preserving.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, it is, yeah. And even Vernon's house it's it's a part of history, like you say. Elvis has been there. He's at there. He's he might have slept there. He's watched football there. He's walked through.
That's right.
He's probably done a few things that we don't even know that he's done there.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you know,
people say, oh, he wouldn't have gone there because he didn't like Dee, and Dee would have been there, but Dee wouldn't have been there the whole time. It would have been just him and Vernon sometimes, just eating and shooting the breeze and watching football and so forth.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Dee was there all the time. And of course, like it wasn't like he may have gone there, like, obviously beforehand or whatever, and afterhand. But I'm sure he had some real good times in there. It's history, and it'd be a shame if it goes. You know what I mean? I really it's sad.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad if anything like the Circle G as well. You know, because you start demolishing one of them, and then the next one goes in, doesn't it?
That's right.
You know, it's like all the concert arenas, isn't it? You know, it's the same thing, isn't it? You know?
I'm not even sure, as the Mid-South Coliseum being pulled down yet. I did a special there a few years ago about them pulling or it being ready for demolition. I don't know whether it has been pulled down or not.
Yeah, I know there was talks about it. And of course, that year I went there as well. I went inside there.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I walked around there. What an amazing arena.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of it empty inside, and it looks something else. It really does.
Yeah. And I remember one of the first ever Elvis concerts with the band that in Memphis is that they actually played in there. Their first tour, and they played the Mid South. It's great, but you know they're all. It's just hopefully we can preserve them and everything else. But just on the poll.
I was going to ask you. Come on then. Is it cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat?
The cowboy hat for me.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, somebody's actually just said that they think that the flat cap is a Photoshop.
I'm not sure.
I mean, even if it is, it's a good Photoshop.
It is, but I'm certain I've got pictures of Elvis, and I think it's 1950. It might be, the time he was in the army, 59, and I'm sure I've got some pictures of him playing baseball.
Yeah.
And stuff, and I think he's got a flat cap on there.
Yeah. True.
I'm sure he has.
Okay, that's great. So you're the cowboy hat. Okay.
Yeah, the cowboy hat for me all the way.
Cheers, Mark. Alrighty.
Cheers, Dave.
Bye.
Mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Sarah said that she thought that the flat cap was a Photoshop, but you get the idea anyway. You know, cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat cap. Keep voting on that, folks. I just wanted to also reiterate what we've been saying for the last few weeks, which is about the Circle G. Circle G Ranch. Just clear that call. Governor at govreeves.ms.gov. And if you go to the Circle G Foundation on Facebook, you can copy and paste a text and send it to Governor Reeves about saving the ranch. Okay, so you don't even have to type it all out. You can just copy and paste it and put your name at the bottom, and it's going to help an awful lot. And it'll take about 2 minutes to do that. So I ask you again, if you can go to the Circle G Foundation on Facebook, copy and paste the thing that Leslie has drafted out for us, and put your name at the bottom and send it to Governor Reeves. It'll be a big help. Now, we are going to do Elvis history. Big day in Elvis history, actually. 1954, September the 24th. No, I'll take this call first. Hello.
Hi, Steve. It's me, Vincenzo.
Hey, Vincenzo. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so what do you think of the inside of Dolan?
Actually, it looked good back then.
It's a lovely house. It really is, and obviously Elvis had it built for his father, so he was always going to do a good job.
I think they should try to save it. It's a part of Elvis history.
Yeah, I know, but it's the money. You see, we covered this a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? It's the money that the person wants, I think, to buy it. I think he's hoping that Graceland will buy it. You see.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we know that well, you see, it's not zoned for they couldn't use it as part of Graceland because it's not in the same zoning as Graceland, isn't it? Okay, I think we lost Vincenzo there. That's a shame. Okay, all right, right. So we are going to do this day in Elvis history, September the Hi, Vincenzo. We lost you, I believe. Yeah, hi. We lost you. I was gonna ask you. I was gonna have to ask.
I think the machine is falling apart.
Yeah, it is a very, very bad line, actually. A very bad line. Can I ask you quickly what you're voting on for Elvis's hat?
I picked the cowboy hat.
Oh, another vote for the cowboy. Okay, I think I know what's going to win. Okay, Vincenzo.
Nice talking to you.
All the best.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Yeah, so Vincenzo, yeah, a very, very bad line that, unfortunately. So we will cut that one short. 24th of September, 1954, Elvis performed at the Eagle's Nest. Okay, and look how young he looks. I know that might not necessarily be September, but that's what he looked like when he was at the Eagle's Nest. Hello?
Hey, Steve, my boy, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
We keep interrupting your this day in history.
Don't worry about it. I've only just got started. We're only 1954.
Well, do you know what? 1954 was an integral year, was it not, Steve?
Oh, it certainly was. And I mean, you look at him there at the Eagle's Nest in 1954. He's just like a schoolboy, isn't he?
But that's all he was.
Do you know that was only taken a couple of weeks after he recorded "That's All Right," and you get the idea of what he looked like when he stood in Sun Studio. Which, by the way, I have the Sun Studio top on. Resplendent in my Sun Studio top.
Oh, you most certainly have.
So anyway,
sporting as well. Did I tell you my claim to fame about Sun Studio is I have Lisa Marie's autograph on the back of my admission ticket, no?
I think you told us that, yes.
Maybe once or twice, anyway.
So what would you like to talk about?
So, getting back to your absolutely amazing show and the wonderful quiz you do, there was a little bit of banter going on there on the chat.
Oh.
And could you pick like somebody who has no hope of ever getting one of those questions right because they made a funny comment or they were the funniest or the silliest wrong answer and throw us in the bucket as well. Now, I'm not trying to be ungrateful.
Yeah, that could be an idea, actually. Well, I don't know whether I should. I a few weeks ago I did write the third correct answer or the fourth correct answer or something like that, but it was a little bit difficult to keep track of it,
Yeah.
So,
but come here, I was the third answer on one of them weeks, so that would have done me thanks. I don't care how difficult it was for you to keep track of.
Yeah, we'll have to try and I'll have to try and think of another way of doing it, maybe. Yeah.
And it was so wonderful and so kind of Joan and Paul to share their memories of and photos of Dolan.
Oh, Joan and Paul, yeah. Oh, lovely people. Yeah, lovely people.
Because to allow us to see that and those kind of images, they remind us of look at the lovely, how fantastic it actually was, really, and of its age, in comparison to other houses, it was a beautiful house.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure
it was built in 1964, so by 1964 standards, it's a superb house. I mean, the kitchen, fabulous.
You could live in that kitchen. Well, from that image, if you walked into that kitchen now, you'd use it.
You would, yeah.
I'm not sure I could ever stay in it though, being that close to Graceland. I don't think I could contain myself and not clear that fence.
It was so handy for him to go through that fence, wasn't it? I've got a shot there of it, and he could literally be in his office in minutes. Minutes, yeah. So.
And I suppose we're reminded, very regularly now of how many of the people who were directly in contact with Elvis and of the Elvis world, how many have already gone before us.
Yeah.
And so I think those opportunities are becoming less and less. And so in turn, more probably, I don't know, more significant that if we know people and I personally feel like I know a lot of the people on that chat, you know, that they're willing to share their experiences.
Yeah.
And I find that, I mean, these are, you know, once in a lifetime opportunities as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, we have a great community anyway. I mean, Elvis fans are the best fans in the world anyway, I think, you know. So.
I agree wholeheartedly, because that puts me in that box. But, you know, do you know what they are? They're great fans, but they're very selfless.
Yeah.
And very true.
Yeah.
You know, and I like to think that we get some of that from the kindness that we know Elvis longed and lived for, that kind of generosity. He had no value in owning or having things. He had more value in somebody else owning them, him paying and somebody else owning.
Yeah.
So, you know, those things are amazing. And I just think that even Mark, you know, imagine to spend 12 hours in that house. I just, you know, those are opportunities. No more than meeting people directly linked with Elvis, they're slipping away from us very fast.
It's almost like a dream, isn't it, to spend time sleeping under the same roof that... I mean, Elvis probably spent nights in Dolan. You know, he wouldn't have always...
I don't doubt it.
He wouldn't have he wouldn't have always gone back to Graceland to sleep. You know, he might have just said, you know, him and Vernon could have been talking late into the night, and then you know, him saying, well, it's too late for me to go back to Graceland.
Elvis,
Daddy, can I sleep in one of the bedrooms? Yeah.
Well, we all know that Elvis, his insomnia issues and what they were. Sure, he'd want to keep his father up as long as he could. Yeah. And in order to do that, he'd have had to stay in Dolan to work that, or to let that happen. I just think that, you know, these are wonderful, they're time capsules.
Yeah.
Aren't they, Steve?
Yeah. I really do hope that something can be done with Dolan. I mean, people are saying, no, it's past it and all this, but there's a time when something is really, really past it, and at the moment, I don't think it is yet. If the shell is still intact, I think
about Elvis fans, it can be. We're ever hopeful.
Yeah.
You know, and look, if it's not, lots of these wonderful people like Joan and Paul have allowed us these opportunities to see them.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, and Mark, and you know, even that picture of Sonny sitting at the dining room table, and you know, people standing up.
Yeah.
What year was that? 2007?
2009, I think it was. Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
So we lost Sonny in what? 2018?
I think it was something like that. Yeah. 16.
17 or 18, maybe.
Time goes by so fast, doesn't it?
And Marty Lacker was in around the same time as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, to hear all these people, and to feel like I know people who knew them, that's all that worries with me. That's what matters.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm going to ask you, Elvis hat. Which one?
Okay, I don't care which hat as long as that's all he's wearing.
I like it.
No, but I would have to go cowboy. Do you know?
I think cowboy.
My favourite Elvis movie is Charro.
Yeah. I think cowboy is going to win hands down, I think.
Well, you know, when you were saying his favourite outfit, that Charro outfit, that waistcoat and that shirt, and holy mother.
Yes, I know. Okay,
but anyway.
Okay. Thanks, Priscilla.
Thanks, Steve.
All the best.
Thanks. Have a good week.
Yes,
bye, everybody.
Bye. Okay. Now there is somebody trying to call me here, and I want to speak to them. So it means me giving them a call. In fact, no. Here he is. Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Hello?
You did, right?
Hello? Is that Paul?
Yes, Steve.
Hi, Paul. Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing fine.
Now,
we wanted to comment.
Let me tell you that this is Paul, Joan's husband, that has provided me with these wonderful photographs of Dolan and Audubon. Hello?
Yeah, I took a lot of photos over the years.
Yes.
And this is the 2009 when we went down there with Ken Sharp to promote his book Elvis in Vegas '69.
Okay.
It was the 40th anniversary, and we contributed 50 or 60 photos to that book. So anyway, that's why we were there.
Yeah.
And wanted to comment on the flat hat shot. That was Eddie Fidel's hat. He and Elvis were playing around, and they switched hats, and they switched clothes too.
Yes.
There's a series of photos of them playing around.
I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not Photoshop.
No, Eddie Fidel became a friend in 1990 when we were on a cruise, and he wrote a lot of articles for us that we published in our fan club newsletter.
Yeah, well, I actually had Janice, his daughter, on the show. One of my interviews is with Janice, actually, lovely lady.
Yes, and we're in touch with her. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have more photos that I'll send you when I get a chance.
That's great. Well, I mean, on behalf of everybody that's watching the show tonight, actually, thanks very, very much for sending those in.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I got a little story. One time when we were there at the Audubon house, when Cindy and Mike owned it, they showed us, I should say, a little spot on the wall where they removed several layers of wallpaper.
Right.
And they got down to the wallpaper that Elvis designed.
Oh,
with musical notes.
Really? So, that's a great story.
I'll get to those to you.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see those. Paul and Joan, of course. Thanks. I'm deeply indebted to you as always. Thank you very, very much.
I'm going to let Joan say hello. Here she is.
Hi, Steve. Nice talking to you.
Hey, Joan. Nice talking to you as well. Listen, if you've got to choose cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat cap, which one would it be?
I couldn't choose, but Paul chose the cowboy.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. That's fair enough. You could just say all of them. It was the person that was in them.
I said all of them except for the flat cap.
Okay. That's great. Joan, thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All the best.
Nice
All the best to Paul as well. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes. So we found out, actually, and I knew I'd seen it somewhere. The flat cap photograph is genuine, and it was Eddie Fidel's flat cap, and Elvis put it on just to clown around, and somebody took that photograph. But there are other photographs as well. I just couldn't place it when I was looking at it tonight. Eddie Fidel's hat. Right. Great callers. Thanks very much to everybody that called in. And I'm still looking for votes on cowboy, motorcycle, fedora, or flat hat. I think I know what's going to win. If you don't, I'll be very surprised. Let's do This Day in Elvis History. And I'd shown you the Eagles Hall photographs, which was this day in 1954 that he appeared there. The other act was Tony Dixon Band. 1955, the Louisiana Hayride, and there is the Hayride, Municipal Auditorium in Shreveport. Now, this is a lovely one. Elvis and Nick Adams went to see Mildred Scrivener, and Elvis's senior class homeroom teacher at Humes High School. Elvis donated $900 to the school for new uniforms for its ROTC program. And there is a lovely shot, very cute shot of Elvis meeting Mildred Scrivener, okay, his class teacher, and the one that gave him the chance to appear on the stage in the talent show, if you like, in the Humes High School. And he got called back onto the stage to sing again. So, Mildred Scrivener. And there's another cute shot as well of Mildred surrounded by adoring Elvis fans and reading an Elvis magazine. There you are. So that was on this day in 1956. 1957, Jailhouse Rock was released. It became Elvis's 9th US #1 single and stayed on the Billboard chart for 19 weeks. And of course, it was backed by Treat Me Nice, which was another great cut. And there's a great scene in Jailhouse Rock where he's supposed to be recording that in a recording studio. And Elvis, of course, looks absolutely fabulous in Jailhouse Rock, as he did in all his movies. Rolling Stone magazine included it as number 67 on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time, and was named one of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll. That was Jailhouse Rock. In 2004, it finished number 21 on the AFI's 100 Years, 100 Song surveys of top tunes. On November the 27th, 2016, the Grammy Hall of Fame announced its induction along with that of another 24 Elvis songs. 1958, USS Randall bunkmate Charlie Hodge until October the 1st. So he was traveling, obviously, from New York to Germany, and him and Charlie were bunkmates. And it's quite sad, actually. I remember Charlie saying that he could almost hear Elvis grieving at night for his mother, which is got to be one of the saddest things I've ever heard somebody say, when you can actually hear somebody grieving. I'm sure he was crying as well. He was crying himself to sleep. Devastating that he lost his mother on the verge of him leaving for Germany. 1960, he was working on Flaming Star. Oh, folks, there's the cowboy hat again. 1962. It happened at the World's Fair, of course. And also, Elvis receives an invitation to appear at the Royal Variety Performance, a gala evening held annually in the United Kingdom, which is attended by senior members of the British royal family. Elvis's manager, Tom Parker, graciously declines, citing motion picture commitments. There's other opinions on that Colonel Parker asked for money, and people said, you don't get paid for appearing in the Royal Variety Performance. You're appearing in front of the Queen of England. And Colonel Parker said, well, in that case, then he's not coming. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. You could probably imagine Tom Parker saying something like that. 1968, Elvis spent most of September in Palm Springs. 1970, Elvis flew from Memphis to Los Angeles. And then, of course, we have another big day. In 1973, RCA took mobile recording equipment to Elvis's home in Palm Springs, which is Chino Canyon, of course, hoping he would add his vocals to backing tracks recorded at Stax Studios that July. However, Elvis wasn't that interested. He did, however, manage 15 takes of the outstandingly beautiful I Miss You and 4 takes of Are You Sincere before handing over the session to his vocal group, Voice, and disappearing to his bedroom. So they recorded Killing Me Softly, Why Me Lord, In the Sweet, By and By, Danny's Song, and Aubrey. So, yeah. But I Miss You, unbelievably haunting and just beautiful. And I think that might be an underrated Elvis song to come in the future. 1976, Elvis in Palm Springs, not to return to Memphis before the 26th of September. So that was this day in Elvis history. And I would very, very, very much like it if you haven't subscribed to hit the subscribe button and turn the bell black. In other words, select all notifications, because it does help. It helps the channel, it helps Elvis, and that's what we're trying to do. Now, what do we got here? We have got a Photoshop. Yes, a Photoshop. And it's this one. And it doesn't look too bad. A lot of people could be fooled into thinking that is genuine, but no, it isn't. There's the one of Elvis, okay, and obviously it's the color version with Priscilla, and then the Priscilla one is lifted from this one with Elvis and Glenn Campbell. So that's this week's Photoshop, and if you know, or there's a Photoshop that irritates you and you don't like it, send it in, and we will send it in to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com, and I'll see if I can feature it in a future show. Now, I want to do an underrated Elvis song. Oh yeah, I'll just remind you that I do like it if you send me in your underrated songs, Photoshop smoking hot photos, song I wish Elvis had sung, funny caption photos, all that. Send them in to me at the Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. That's great. Now, yeah, this is a underrated Elvis song suggested by Barry, or he likes to be called Baz, I believe, as well. And it's a song first recorded by Elvis as part of the soundtrack for his 1961 motion picture, Wild in the Country. But eventually it was dropped from the movie. It was recorded at a session held on November the 7th and 8th of 1960 at Radio Recorder Studio in Hollywood, California. The movie's working title was the same as this song's, and was an excerpt of Elvis singing the song could be seen in its original trailer. But the song was cut before release and the movie's title was changed. The background vocals were provided by the Jordanaires, of course. In 1961, it was released as the flip side of the single Surrender. In the US, the song peaked at number 32 in the Billboard Hot 100, while Surrender reached number 1. Both were certified platinum by the RIAA and also separately entered the top 3 in Hong Kong. Okay. Later, the song was included on Elvis's 1968 Greatest Hits album, Elvis Gold Records Volume 4. Now, yes, I think you're right. That photograph is from George Klein's wedding, I believe. You're right. Vincenzo says it looks like a real picture, Steve. Yes, it does, but it isn't. It isn't. Now, would anybody like to try and guess what the song is? In fact, Jack has got it, believe it or not. Yes, well done. Well done, Jack. It is Lonely Man. And Baz says, beautiful song, and Elvis sings it with such conviction. Well, I echo that statement. I really, really do. And I always think that Lonely Man sort of showcases Elvis's vocal range, because he's got the baritone. It's a lonely man. That's how he starts it. But then he goes up to falsetto later on. Searching, always searching. He goes into the falsetto. So that, if you want to sort of display to somebody or tell somebody how great Elvis's vocal range was, then Lonely Man is definitely one. I'll tell you another one as well. I Met Her Today is another one that really demonstrates how wide Elvis's vocal range was. So, baritone, falsetto, brilliant, and that's it. I will put a link below to Lonely Man, but I'm sure you're all aware of what it sounds like. Now, what have I got? I want to remind you. There it is, of course. Lonely Man, Surrender. Okay. I want to remind you about the poll, in case you haven't had a chance to vote yet. Do you prefer his cowboy hat, his motorcycle hat, his fedora hat, or his flat cap, which belonged to Eddie Fidel? And Elvis took it and somebody took a photograph. Okay. So you can still vote on that for a little while. Yes. Now, an YouTube channel I recommend. And as I told you at the top of the show, I'm going to break a rule this week, my own rule that I made. I sort of said, I'd like to recommend a YouTube channel that deals with Elvis, or an Elvis YouTube channel. Well, this one isn't. It's a relatively new channel. And it's called Very Nearly Interesting. There it is. Very Nearly Interesting. Okay. And it's run by a fellow called Tez. Hi, Tez, if you're still watching, if you're still with me. And he does all these sort of things like, his most recent video was this one, which is the actual birth of moving pictures. And it happened in England. And there's a shot of Tez. Okay. And I mean, he's done things like where the actual spot where Paul McCartney met John Lennon and where they went afterwards into the hall, and the site of the filming of the first movie, all those sort of interesting things. It's called Very Nearly Interesting, but I've found every one of his videos so far very interesting. He's very well put together. The production is very, very good. Like I say, it's not an Elvis channel. He's an Elvis fan, so he likes Elvis. So maybe it's we'll give him that to watch. So yeah, and don't worry if you can't find him on YouTube. Very Nearly Interesting, and the reason being is because I will put a link to Tez's YouTube channel. And like I say, if you like all those sort of things about early history and photographs and the Beatles and where they met and how they met and all those sort of things, just check out Tez's channel. Very Nearly Interesting, because like I say, he is an Elvis fan, so we'll give him that, and that's why I will recommend his channel this week. So check out the link. It's a lot of fun, and I know Elvis will always be my top priority, but I do also watch other channels, and Very Nearly Interesting is one of the channels that I watch. Now, this is a song I wish Elvis had recorded. Now, again, I'll ask you if you can name it before I tell you what it is. It's a song, I suggested this, a song written and performed by American rock performer Bruce Springsteen. Released in 1985, it was the fourth single from his album Born in the USA. It was first recorded in January 1982 during the first wave of Born in the USA sessions. The song is about a man who wakes up with night sweats, lusting for a woman. He feels like he's on fire when he suddenly awakes. The result is a moody number that merges a soft rockabilly beat, lyrics built around sexual tension, and synthesizers into an effective whole. Cashbox said the song is at once a quiet and tense tune of pent-up desire. The song peaked at number 6 in the Billboard Hot 100 singles in 1985. Let's see if anybody has guessed what it is. Vincenzo says, I'm on fire. John Rowley says, I'm on fire. Yeah. Linda says, no idea. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. The song is I'm on Fire, and I wish that Elvis had been around to record it, because I think he would have made a great job of it. Steve, Elvis should have gone to London without Parker. Well, I'm going to London in November to the exhibition that they're holding, and I believe I have a little bit of a photograph here, direct from Graceland. Elvis, Step Inside the Legacy. I'm going in November, so there you are. So that's the one that I wish that Elvis had recorded. And if you want to send your suggestions in to I Wish Elvis Had Recorded, by all means. Did I throw away my underrated song? Maybe I didn't do my underrated song. I did do my underrated song. It was Lonely Man, wasn't it? I was completely flummoxed there for a minute. Had I done Lonely Man? Right. So that's I'm on Fire. And I think that I've just about covered everything apart from Smoking Hot, I think. Oh, and caption this photo, of course. This was the photograph that I asked everybody to caption. And a few people, well, more than a few people gave me captions. And here's a few of them. I'm learning this new dance. It's called the twist. As long as you don't wiggle a finger. That's from the Elvis movie, of course. Winking and lip curling at same time is hard for me to do. People always say, oh, Elvis, he cannot take a bad photo. Ha, look at me now. I can do it. But the winner with 15 likes, and I can do you a... is you, Riley Aaron. 15 likes, not too bad. It's hard to dance, sing, The police has put a lock on my pelvis, but I still jiggle. Okay, so let's actually give Riley a round of applause for that. And I will be posting another caption, this photo, next week, probably around about Tuesday-ish. It'll be on the community tab. Check that out. Send in your funny caption, and also like the one that you like, and then whoever gets the most likes gets a shout out on the show. So I want to do Smoking Hot. That's what I want to do. But we will close the poll first, because I'm interested to see. Yeah, that didn't surprise me. There it is. The results are in. Cowboy, 53%, over half the votes. Motorcycle, 28%, Fedora, 13%, and Flat, 4%. Yeah, that went exactly the way I expected it, actually. Apart from, I would not have been the 53%. I would have been the 28%, because I prefer the motorcycle. I actually prefer the motorcycle. The one top right. Cowboy is nice. The poor old flat cap didn't do much, unfortunately. So there you are. Only got 4%. So Smoking Hot. Yes, here we are. I think I've covered everything else, haven't I? I don't want to miss anything out. Smoking Hot. Stand By Girls. Bruce is a huge Elvis fan. Yeah, and he tells Fedora would have been my second, says Jack. And Bruce tells the story about how he jumped over the wall and got to the door and asked if Elvis was home, and they said, well, not really. No, he's in Vegas. I think this was 1975. No disrespect to Bruce. I'm not sure whether Elvis would have known who he was. But if Elvis had been there, I'm sure he would have been gracious to Bruce, and he would have encouraged him and said, hey, you're a great man and all this, So, yeah, but it's a great story. Smoking Hot. Here we go. Yes, 1959, whilst he was in the army in Germany. And he's got like a sort of a very pensive, plaintive look on his face, and that is the Smoking Hot photo for this week. And I believe, I'm not too sure, I think Kirsty provided that for me, if I remember rightly. Yes, he climbed over the wall at Graceland. He did. Yeah, he made it to the door as well, and by the time he tried to knock on the door, but he was stopped by security, who asked him what he thought he was doing. Kathleen says, Elvis takes my breath away. Bossa Nova says, nice one. Jill, just a row of hearts, which says it all. I just want to put my arms around him. Totally mesmerizing. He's always so captivating. Yeah. Never really seen a bad shot of Elvis, to be honest. Now, don't forget, I do want you to send in, if you think there's something that Elvis shouldn't have worn, send me in a photograph of it. That happened was it 76, Vincenzo? Okay, I thought it was maybe 75. Could have been 76. And also, if you want to be fan of the week, send me an email, and we can either pre-record it or we can do it on the show live one week. It's just a few questions, and you tell us the answer to those questions. How long you've been an Elvis fan, how did you become an Elvis fan, what's your favourite film, what's your favourite record, and all that. He's so handsome. I love the jacket. Yeah, that's a favourite jacket of his. Red West was seen wearing that jacket a few times in the 50s as well. Dolores says, so hot. Jack says, 76, yes. Elvis was in Tahoe. Thank you very much, folks. I wasn't sure it was 75 or 76. I knew it was late on. Now, as always, I say, if you do appreciate my efforts with this channel, you please subscribe, share, and like this page. Don't forget the likes, because we're trying to get 300. And you can also buy me a coffee as well using the link below, or you can scan the QR code. Thanks to all the great callers this week. You make the show. Thanks to everybody that took part in the quiz as well. Made it such great fun and good humoured. I'll be back here next week, as always, to try and entertain you. Don't forget the thumbs up. And until next week, take it away, Al.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.